What does peace mean anyway? So, I am here to inform you about peace, and doing so in 3 different languages. And before I go further, I just want to say that I trained in theology, and when I was doing that, we had to take one word and parse it, and we'll go to different languages and find the meanings and how they apply in those cultures, and we'll find them how they apply in cultures before and now, and and use them to build what we had to share. So that's where my experience and training comes from. So now, going back to peace, let's begin with English. Dictionary.com defines peace as normal, non-warring. It also says agreement or treaty between nations, or a state of mutual harmony. And then fourthly, it says that when there is freedom in the society and absence of commotion. I am paraphrasing some of this. So now, going on to what peace stands for in the Greek language. First and foremost, the Greek language calls the word eirene, and that is peace. And for them, the translation of peace, or understanding or definition for peace, is not to do with attitude of a person. It doesn't have to do with a nation to a nation, but for them it's just absence of warring. Keep it simple. Simple. Now, after the Greek, let's transition to what the Hebrew people see peace as. First and foremost, they call the word shalom, and shalom is really a rich one word that literally covers everything. If you have ever communicated with a Hebrew person, you will hear them say shalom as you're going, and as you're visiting, they say shalom. So they use that very frequently because it's a wholesome word. To them, shalom is desirable rather than you striving. And so in that, it means that they're wishing you that you do not strive, that you be in peace and no envy, no discord, nothing contrary to what flows within humanity the way that God intended it. So that's the Hebrew context. And they also have a salvation aspect of it that is attached to it. And that salvation is the part that touches on the messianic coming, and that extends to love. So love for one another. And so with that in mind, we also see that peace carries a sense of well-being in Hebrew context. And you will find them say to somebody, Beshalom, that is in peace, always wanting you to be wholesome. And then you hear them say, La Shalom. La Shalom literally means incoming, be in peace. Going, be in peace. So that is the context for Hebrew. So when you look at the 3 cultures, you see that there is a little subtle difference in how they look at it. The 2, English and Greek, looks at peace as absence of something, absence of something. But let's come back to the Hebrew perception. The Hebrew perception is about a presence of something. So now let's transition into what that stands for. For them, they do not even address anxiety. But in our culture, sometimes we see a striving of anxiety with peace. For them, they look at peace as something that a presence of something you should desire. And that desiring is that you rejoice. If you rejoice with your heart all the time, always you rejoicing in the Lord, you will have peace. if you let your gentleness, extending your gentleness to other people, you will have peace. If you are anxious for nothing, but in everything you appreciate and bring thanks to God, you will be at peace. And then they say, then if you do these things, the peace of God will be with you. So based on that, they have some real desirable characteristics that you would want to get familiar with. And this would be the presence of things that are true. So they say it this way, say, whatsoever thing is true, whatsoever thing is noble, whatsoever thing is just, whatsoever thing is pure, whatsoever thing is lovely, whatsoever thing is of good report. They said, think on those things. Anything that has virtue and praiseworthiness, think on those things. You're going to find that you will have peace. That you meditate on those things, then the peace and the presence of God and the understanding will come upon you and fill you, and you will be more wholesome in your life. So, in conclusion, I just want to quickly bring the three cultures together to see how they tie up and how they subtly differ. One is that the Greek and English are things that you want to stay away from, but the Hebrew culture are the things that you want to bring in and embrace. So they give you something to build upon. So that way you can consciously say, okay, if I am praising, then this is good. So, but one thread that runs through all of them is the harmony that peace brings, whether for an individual or with a person, with the rest of the people around them. So that's it